I studied the Disney Dreamlight Valley Showcase for 3 hours today, analyzing every single frame just so I could summarize everything important for you guys. And I came up with 61 bullet points of information. So let's get into it. Before we start, there were 3 codes that have been mentioned that I'm sure you guys will want to redeem if you want some free stuff. So we have ddlv B-Pack, ddlv Balloon, and ddlv Headband. Be sure to go redeem all of this. There will be timestamps throughout this whole video, so if you don't care about certain sections, you can skip through them. We'll also divide this between free stuff and paid stuff, and I will tell you when the free part is over, so if you don't care about the expansion pass, you don't have to watch anymore. So first of all, we have a lot of random housekeeping news, just trying to get this all out the way so we can move on to the big stuff. As I'm sure most of you guys know, Disney Dreamlight Valley will be leaving early access, so we're going to be entering full game release, which is known as the 1.0 update. It will be happening on December 5th, 2023. We are going to get 4 new free updates before the end of summer 2024, and at least 1 expansion pass. By the end of summer 2024, we can expect another roadmap for the latter half of the year. It is said that the update on December 5th will have the most amount of bug fixes so far, which is pretty impressive. And it was also mentioned if we did like the updates that have been happening recently, then we're definitely gonna love the updates for next year. I think that's super promising because I think the last ones have been pretty well received. All players who participated in early access somehow will gain access to new items, which are the flowery summer cottage house style, the artist overall costume, and the flowery capybara companion. Also, the soundtrack will be available to stream on all major music platforms as of today. And lastly, they're releasing a Disney Dreamlight Valley Arcade Edition, which is going to be special to Apple Arcade. Should be available on iOS devices. I'm pretty sure that just means iPhone and iPad, but you will have to have an Apple Arcade subscription to be able to play it. And this feature will not include the premium shop or the star path, so you can pretty much only do normal Valley things. Now, onto the interesting stuff. So we will be getting the Valleyverse, which is Disney Dreamlight Valley's take on multiplayer. This will be included in the December 5th free update, allowing you to invite up to 3 friends into your valley. This multiplayer update will allow you to exchange items like food or resources. So if you have a shit ton of iron and your friend who just started playing needs a bunch for their quest, you can help them out. Don't let them struggle like we did. You will also be able to visit other people's Scrooge store. There wasn't a lot of clarification on how exactly this is gonna work, so I don't know if that means they can only buy like the featured items. At launch, Valleyverse will support exploration of the main valley, player house, and Scrooge's shop. I'm not 100% sure what this is implying, but essentially I think that's just meaning that if you buy the expansion pass, then other people won't be able to visit that, because what if they haven't bought it? There was also this really small text that I don't think a lot of people noticed, but it did say that an online subscription may be required to access Valleyverse. So I think that implies we might have to pay a monthly fee to do multiplayer. I don't know, there's a lot of argument for that. My interpretation was that there's gonna be this like rainbow teleporter to allow people into your valley, but they also might just use the well like any other normal character. This is just speculation on my part. We'll now also be able to craft ancient machines, which will automate a lot of our processes and just make our valley way more efficient. There's one machine that looks like it'll automatically water our crops for us. Thank God. And I don't know if this is part of the machines or just a separate thing, but we will be able to automate our cooking. Also featured in this clip was potentially a new kind of currency, or maybe like a gemstone that we can use. I'm thinking in these ancient machines to speed up processes, or maybe just to fuel them. There will also be a mini game that's added as a new element to the entire game. You're not going to be required to play it. It's just going to be a fun little side thing. And it's a board game with figurines that you have to move across the board to try to collect more coins than the other player to win. Also, side note, but 3 of the figurines featured in the board game are characters that we haven't had added and haven't even had mentioned to us in an update, which is Lumiere, Cogsworth, and Flynn Rider. Does that mean they're in the works? I'm not sure, but I'm hoping so. So we also got 2 confirmed realms. We are going to be getting Monsters Inc. in the early next year free update. And then in late spring of 2024, it looks like we're going to be getting a Mulan realm based on the vocabulary that they use and the Sakura leaves. We will be getting a new star path with every single update, which will probably be every 1 to 3 months. It's confirmed that we're getting a winter star path in the December 5th free update. And for sure, we're getting a winter skin for Belle and a few winter themed items. And for free characters, we are confirmed getting 5 new free characters. So first we're getting Jack Skellington in the December 5th update. Mike and Sully will be coming early next year with the Monsters Inc. realm. We'll be getting a vibrant new villager in the early spring 2024 free update. It is implied that that is Daisy Duck, and then we are for sure getting Tiana in summer 2024. And this is still speculation, but we are definitely going to get a new character in that second unspecified realm that I was talking about. Whether it's Mulan or not, we're definitely getting one character, bare minimum, from that, but I would think it's Mulan. Now, that is all for the free update stuff. Honestly, it's a lot, but it's not. There's so much more in the expansion pass, so let's get into that. So the Rift in Time expansion pass will also be released on December 5th. It's coming alongside the free update, and it's going to take us to a new location called Eternity Isle. And this appears to be like a series of islands off of the main map. It's not clear how we're gonna access them. This is once again just my interpretation, but I think it's gonna be through a portal off the main plaza, kind of like how the Forgotten's Castle is. They did show a glimpse of a portal for a slight second, but there's also the potential for us to just travel through wells like normal, or also maybe sail over there through a rabbit hole like Ariel's little raft. If it is through a portal, I'm hoping that it is, because there's only 4 slots for portals in that main plaza, which means we should only have 3 expansion passes in total, and I hope we do because I don't want to pay that much money. Anyways, that's all a little bit of a segue. Let's get back to all the confirmed stuff. So Eternity Isle will have 3 separate biomes within it called Ancient's Landing, which is a kind of mix between a jungle and a beach kind of biome. It was referred to as an old port town in the live stream. We're also gonna have the Glittering Dunes, which is the desert biome we've been waiting on. And lastly, we're getting the Wild Tangle, which is the jungle biome. Disney Dreamlight Valley promised that none of the main story would be hidden behind a paywall, and I think they're still staying true to that promise, because this all seems like additional lore. None of this is gonna be necessary to know what's going on in the main storyline. It's relevant, but not necessary, if that makes sense. The name of the expansion pass actually comes from the physical rift that you can see in the isle. They have the castle from Aladdin, and it kind of has a cut down the middle. One half has the desert and one half has the jungle, and they're both in different like time periods. The entirety of Eternity Isle is actually about the size of our current valley, and since there are only 3 biomes in there, that basically means each biome is like 2 to 3 times the size of the ones we already have. There will be a separate item limit in Eternity Isle, so you don't have to worry about your item limit and to like reduce your furniture use before we get the expansion pass. On these 3 islands, there's going to be a lot more exploration. They've mentioned a bunch of hidden treasures, hidden beaches, and a lot of like vertical movement, so we're gonna be like walking up stairs and hills a lot more. This expansion pass also has an entirely separate roadmap from the main game. What I think is hilarious is the storyline for the Rift in Time won't actually end until summer of 2024. So even if you're paying for it, you're not getting all of the content at once. I'd like to think that this means if they are releasing more expansion packs later on, we're not gonna get another one until at least summer of 2024. So we have another 6 months or so to save up money for it. And once again, although this is separate from the main game, there's still some interconnection, meaning the villagers will still kind of interchange between sections. You can also put villager homes wherever you would like in the valley, including on Eternity Isle. There's also going to be a second Scrooge shop and a second 𝙪𝙪𝙪 on the Isles, which I think is so cool. And then new paid characters. So the new paid DLC will come with 3 new characters at launch on December 5th, which will be Eve, who's found on Ancient's Landing. Her house is this little tiny spaceship. Gaston, who's found in the Glittering Dunes. It's a relatively simple looking house. And then Rapunzel, who is found in the Wild Tangle. And of course, she has her iconic tower. I believe we'll also be getting another villager in spring 2024 with another storyline update to the Rift in Time expansion, but no additional information on that was given. Unfortunately, I don't think Jafar is going to be a villager, maybe ever. He kind of is following the same structure as the Forgotten, where you can speak to him as like a hologram, but he doesn't show up in your character list. There will be 3 new critters, seemingly all having those 5 color variations like the ones in our current valley. We're gonna get monkeys in Ancient's Landing, capybaras in the Wild Tangle, and cobra snakes in the Glittering Dunes. And guys, you're gonna be able to pose with those guys on your neck for pictures. Kind of freaked me out. There will be new Goofy stalls, new ingredients, and new flowers. I would also presume that there's new fish and new gemstones since there are mining rocks, but they didn't really mention that at all. Some new forageables and ingredients we're gonna get are strawberries, Venus flytraps, fantasy figs, cinnamon, and cactus fruit. There are many more that I saw, but I couldn't really identify them with just my eyes, and they didn't tell me what they were. We're also gonna be getting a lot new recipes. A few that were mentioned were poutine, latkes, biryani, and arepas, I don't know. They're all special recipes that I don't know how to pronounce. And lastly, we're gonna be getting that new royal tool, which will be the royal hourglass. So this is an ancient tool that can be used to destroy some new spawned objects, and it'll be able to sense hidden treasures all around the valley. So that's all for this update. If you want to see more on it, you can go check out the live stream yourself. I'll have it linked in the description below. Gonna be making a couple more videos on this. I'm so excited, honestly, for the expansion pass. I'm willing to pay the money, even though it's a little bit annoying that we are paying for extra content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a like and a comment. Actually, comment your favorite thing that you saw in the live stream. I am dying to know what you're excited about. And if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I hope to see you guys all in the next video, but if not, bye-bye.